to steal a famous quote from a very famous YouTuber. The Legend of Zelda! Breath of the Wild! I added my own little twist to it, so whatever. What can I say about Breath of the Wild that hasn't already been said? Honestly, nothing. Review's over. Hahaha, I'm so original and funny. But anyway guys, stale jokes aside, hey everyone. I've been playing Breath of the Wild for quite a time now, about 30 or so hours, beaten the first boss, gotten a few hearts, and since I haven't really made a review in a while and views are running low, it's about time I get back to being what's popular. I should note that there are some visual spoilers in the gameplay I recorded, so if you're not okay with seeing a cutscene or two and a couple of weapons and like game and stuff, then now's the time to look away, or then just at least listen without watching the video, because most of the section will be spoiler free. Excluding like the first hour of gameplay. If you don't want to hear about that, then I'd say just go play the game. I'll warn you in advance though whenever spoilers are coming up. So okay, first off is gameplay. This game runs immaculately. I have run into some minor things here and there, but nothing that everyone else hasn't experienced, like frame loss in areas with a lot of tall grass being the most prominent, you know, that sort of thing. And I know it makes sense from a gameplay standpoint, but like, I want to be able to climb surfaces in the rain. That's another problem I had. When the game cripples your ability to do so, it's sort of frustrating, but honestly, other than that, like, you know, so far it just seems perfect, like, just as advertised. Like, the physics engine works almost flawlessly, the enemies feel extremely varied and vibrant, and they feel like they have a personality, which is important, and the link controls, or not the link controls, the Joy-Cons, they work extremely well for me anyway. I found, like, you know, they're fine except for once or twice they've desynced if I point them away from the thing, the Switch. Link himself controls extremely well. His controls are really tight. But anyway, let's get on to sort of like the actual gameplay. So once you get off the Great Plateau, when the game sort of starts to begin, that's really when it starts to pick up. You know, the Great Plateau is just one massive tutorial area. So if you've seen the like E3 gameplays of it, you know what I'm talking about. It's just that. It's just like a big area for gameplay. But the game really begins when you get off of it. And I'd say the first thing you should do is get a horse. But like, personally, I walked everywhere on foot. I just wanted to take in everything nice and slowly, you know, go through everything. I'm taking my time with this game. I'm savoring. I'm taking it all in. Know what I mean? But honestly though, I really couldn't fathom, like, I'm still maybe like 5 regions in, and I had to run away from like 3 of them, like with my tail tucked between my legs, because everyone was too tough. Like, I couldn't physically fight them yet. But like, the fact that I can go there and fight if I know how to is really cool to me. Like, I really just couldn't get over how large the world is. Like, it's huge, like massive. Like, I remember Skyrim being fucking massive, and this feels bigger than Skyrim, and that's crazy to me. That's unbelievable. I don't know if it's bigger than Skyrim if you included all the DLC and stuff. Probably still is, but you never know. Oh yeah, that sort of brings me though to the combat section of the game. So Link is a precious cinnamon roll, too good for this world apparently, because everyone wants to send him to the great beyond as fast as possible. Enemies are almost 3 steps ahead of you at all times, and in terms of damage you will die a lot. Like, you're going to be dealing damage from falling, from enemies, from fire, from mice. There's like so many ways you can die in this game. It's like the Dark Souls of Legend of Zelda, but you will die more than in Dark Souls. Especially early game. I found late game that I wasn't dying as much. Like, I died one time and it took me forever to realize, oh crap, I died. It's like the first time in ages. And I hadn't saved in quite a while, but the game auto-saves, so it doesn't take you too far back, thank God, but if you're not on a flat land for quite a while, it will take you quite a way back. Like, if you're climbing and you're just on like a little ledge, it won't save there, so just so you know. Like, you know, I did find the game tries to teach you, it's usually better to dodge or like to parry against attacks rather than to try and brute force it, but if you like gather enough hearts and defense items like shields and armor and stuff, you can do that. Like, you can brute force it if you want. But I prefer to go in like sort of head-on perfect dodges. The best way for me. Perfect dodges give you these things called flurry rushes. Basically, like, you can attack an enemy in multiple times in succession without him being able to attack you because everything is slowed down. You don't lose stamina or anything for this, but it is very useful. I've also found myself using my bow and arrows an awful lot whenever I don't want to run into like enemies and stuff. I'll just like hide somewhere and just start shooting them from a distance. But the thing is, I run out of arrows a lot. I think everybody does. I'm always buying them because I just don't want to keep running out of them. But at the same time, there are some enemies if I'm just like, nah, I don't want to deal with you, I'll just be inclined to sort of sneak around them, or if maybe an enemy's too tough, I'll do the same thing, or I'll get behind them and do a sneak strike, which is very, very powerful, by the way. But that's the thing, this game, like every single enemy requires a different strategy, but from what I've seen, the mini-bosses offer more variety than anybody else. Like, you know, even the actual bosses don't offer as much variety as the mini-bosses do. Minor spoiler warning though for this part, the dungeons seem to not be as complex as, say, like, you know, other games. Like, you know, there's not as many enemies, the puzzles aren't as long, it's just like an over-glorified shrine. But the thing is, if you're looking for puzzles and stuff, the shrines just will give you your daily dose of dungeon, because they are really fucking tough, some of them. And they're really interesting because they never take you very too long. I think I've spent maybe 10 minutes on a shrine at the most, and it was just one involving magnets, but, you know, it was just more or less just trying to get everything to stand on top of each other, but it worked. So, yeah, but that's not to say, like, the dungeons aren't challenging. I should point that out. They are challenging. But I'll let you figure all that out for yourself. That's sort of your own thing to figure out. The weapons and armor in this game are extremely varied and complex. Like, when you finally find the set, I think you should always try and get it. Like, especially a set of armor. Like, weapons, just if you see a weapon and you're always gonna be running low on weapons, pick it up. You know, if your weapons are in bad condition, throw them at an enemy. It does more damage. If your enemies are like, you know, right up in your ass, though, don't throw it. Just hit them with it, because it's better off. It'll save yourself some damage that you don't need. But armor, always buy it. Always buy it if you find armor, because it is so important. But honestly, I can't do the variety of all this stuff justice. Let's just say, though, there's a lot of nods to other Zelda games hidden around in these items and stuff, especially the armor. I found a lot of. I've not found like the green tunic or anything, but I found, like, you know, hints to other characters and stuff. I won't say who. Like, especially, I haven't come across any legendary iconic weapons at all, really. Like, I'm still looking for the Master Sword and the Hylian Shield, assuming that's in the game. I don't know if they can break or not. I'm really concerned about that, honestly. What else is there to talk about? Oh yeah, the money system. Just talking about armor and stuff. The money system is like the last thing we really need to get into before I go into spoilers. Since food and weapons are all found throughout the game, shops are like an oasis in the storm. They're so important. I think they're probably the most essential thing in the game. If you find stuff to sell, always sell it, except for food. Unless it's like something you're not going to be using, sell it. There will always be more of it, so sell it. That is important because you need the money. Money is so hard to come by, and you'll often find yourself short, believe me. It's not like Donald Trump. You can't get that small loan of $1 million, because that's not how it works in this game. Zelda's not handing you money out left and right. So just, other than that, buy arrows and armor whenever you can. I'd say arrows mostly because you go through them faster than anything else in the game. I mean physically, like, you go faster through them than weapons. And if you miss a shot, always look for that arrow, because it's always important to keep managing your arrows. Like, I always keep at least 20 or 30 on me. At one point I had 90, and then I just used them all on a boss. Not even a proper boss, a mini boss. Like, but it was fun. It was worth it, you know. So here's sort of the spoilers of the game, so go ahead and skip this for my final thoughts on the game if you don't want to hear this part. I'll have a time skip on either the description or on the screen now, so I'll just give you a couple seconds to, you know, to figure out what you want to do. If you want to watch the spoilers or not. They're not that big, so take your time. Okay, so I think it's about time now. First off, Link has definitely fucked the fish. The fish, you know what I mean. Her. To be honest, she's pretty cute, but you know what I mean. Second, I really like the English-esque voice given to like the royals in the game, like Zelda and what's her name? Fuck, I forgot the fish's name. The Zora game. Whatever, you know your Zora, the Zora chick. But like, it's a clever idea, I think. Anyway. Also, I've recovered like a few of the memories in the game, and I must say that I like how they reveal the story through little segments like that, and it's like you have to explore for yourself to find these things. Like, you can talk to people and sort of have a hint of where they might be, but you have to find them yourself mostly. I like that. I like that a lot. This game is extremely rewarding for those who explore, and that's something that's like very, very gratifying, especially to someone like me, because I love exploring these games. Like, I spent hundreds of hours in Skyrim, and I was always looking for stuff. It was so fun. But like, I've also found myself really appreciating the fairy fountains most of all. I've only found one throughout the game, but I know there's more. I don't know where they are though. I've also liked how they brought iconic characters back, like Beetle and the like. You know, so far I've only really encountered the Zora and the Gerudos and that, so I don't really like know a lot about the rest of the races or who's there. I haven't even been into the Gerudos' place yet because I haven't figured out how to get in there. There's really not a lot of spoilers I have to talk about though. I can't really think of much else, just because I haven't really gone out of my way to find them. Obviously I said I want to find the Master Sword, but goddamn, it is hidden fucking well. I don't know. Maybe I should just move on to my final thoughts. Let's do that. Okay, so my final thoughts for this game. This game, honestly, I want to give a game a bad review because I haven't given a game a bad review. But this game is perfect, or at least it's as perfect as it could be. It has flaws, but like, I look past that as a big Zelda fan. I'd say that my word isn't justice enough though. However, I know I haven't completed it, but this game deserves the justice of being played by anybody who wants to know about it. Honestly, if you like are even slightly interested, I would say play this game. If you love open worlds, this is the game for you. It's so good. It's so good. It like takes the open world game and just brings it to a whole new level, honestly, and I just love it. And this game, like, I know I haven't given out a bad review yet, really, for any game, but that's mostly because I only review games that interest me. But this game gets a 10 out of 10. It's perfect. If you haven't played it, find a way. It's on Wii U and Nintendo Switch, so you can go cheap and be happy with playing the game on the cheaper version, or you can spend the extra buck for the extra experience, honestly. It needs to be played. Like, you know, if you can't find it somewhere, I feel sorry for you. And that is me being honest. I feel sorry for you if you can't play this game. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this review. I know it's a bit of a short one and not many jokes and stuff, but, you know, I got my views. Hopefully you'll subscribe and help this poor depressed child achieve his dream of finding 100 subs. Or maybe you'll leave a like if you enjoyed, or spread around the word, you know? Hopefully. Or even a comment telling me what you think, or like, you know, what you'd like me to review next. I will do it once I have the time and money, which I currently don't, thanks to the Breath of the Wild and Persona 5 coming out in April. So anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next one.
Destroy all robots.